Hello you guys and welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Drew if you're new here, and today we're doing a little girly talk Q&A, so let's get into it. If this is the first video you are watching, normally it is me and my husband Gabe. We do videos together as a couple, but today you guys requested me to do a part 2 of the girl talk Q&A that I did a few weeks ago. I will link it up above or down below for you guys, but you guys have a lot more questions and I have a lot more answers, so let's get into this questions. As I always say in every single video, grab you some coffee. I always are drinking iced coffee or hot coffee in the mornings. Let me know down below, are you a hot coffee or a cold coffee? I can drink iced coffee in the winter, spring, fall, summer, hot, cold. I'm always drinking me an iced coffee, but something in the morning when I first wake up, I need me a hot cup of coffee. Like, it's just my thing. I always need a hot cup of coffee in the morning. But whenever I'm filming or just doing things around the house, it's an iced coffee. So good. Okay, so my Instagram is Drue._Basham. And I asked you guys to ask me questions over there. I also have a lot of questions from my other one. Okay, wow. That's a crazy question. Anyways, okay, so one of the questions that I've been getting a lot, and a lot that I got when we first got married, was why have I not been going to church? Why have I not talked about my faith in a while? And honestly, you guys, this is something that I just now come to realize, and I've been honest within myself, not only with Christ, but within myself and with other people, is I wasn't angry at God, but I was just so, I feel like me and Gabe did everything right. We saved ourselves for marriage. We waited to move in together. We did everything right. We got married, and as soon as we got married, not even a month into being married, we get hit with his sickness. We get hit with all these different things, stressful, you know, hospital bills, hospital stays, going to the doctor constantly. And I feel like instead of leaning on Christ, I leaned on nothing. I leaned on worldly things. I thought stuff and items and being a certain type of person would make me feel better, but every day that void wasn't filled with anything because it wasn't Christ. And it's something that it's easy to talk about now. 6 months ago, I would have been like, you're lying. I love the Lord. I'm fine. But I went to church one Sunday and he had a message, and everything within me just like, it was screaming, and I was like, wow, like I've never been to church. And when he's talking about the people that need to ask for forgiveness, I was one of those people, and I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that I've had this in my heart for so long, and I wasn't even recognizing how angry and upset that I was with him. And you know, you're not supposed to be mad at God, but I will say I was, and I did not have the closest relationship with him. Now, I still prayed, I still read my Bible, but it wasn't as genuine as I know that it could have been, because I know what it's like to walk close with the Lord, and I was not doing that at all. And I, you know, acknowledge that, and I feel like that's like a step in the right direction, is to acknowledge that I know I wasn't living the way I should have, and I know I wasn't living the right Christian walk that I should have. Also really depressed. I was going through a lot. I was bullied, harassed, and all the things on the internet. You guys know that. And instead of leaning on God to help me with those things, I did not at all. And I wish that I would have. I think back all the time and I think, like, where would I be now if I would have leaned on Christ and his word and prayed and, you know, leaned on him instead of the world for when I was upset. And I thought about what other people said of me. I didn't think about what he says of me. And that's where a bunch of my identity things, I just started happening, because I wasn't leaning on him, I was leaning on the world. And so all that to say, if you're going through that, you are not alone. It happens. You can be the most best Christian you can be. You can save yourself for marriage. You can do everything right and still have, you know, a distance with the Lord, and that doesn't make you a bad person. That doesn't make you a bad Christian. Doesn't make you a bad anything. That it just shows that it's real life, and the Lord is always there waiting for you. He's never left you. He will always be by your side. And I know, I look back now and I think of everything he did for me in that season of my life, and how I didn't thank him. I didn't praise him. I didn't give him the glory. And I wish that I would have. I wish that I could go back and lean on him. I think about how our life would be now if I would have leaned on him and not the world. Like, I think, would Gabe be completely healed? Would all these things would have been different? Would my life been a whole way different if I would have leaned on him instead of the world? You know, you live and you learn, and that's the one thing I love about the Lord, is he is so forgiving and so loving and so, like I said, forgiving. And so I know that he has always been there waiting for me with open arms, knowing that I was going to come back to him, and I did. And it's not that I like stopped believing in him, I just stopped giving him my everything, and that's a problem. Anyways, with all that to say, that is honestly one of the hardest things that I've walked through and been through in my 21 years of life. I know I haven't lived that long, but that is honestly one of the hardest things that I went through, and it's crazy to see how he never left my side. He has always been there for me and always been an amazing God and Father and all things. So yeah, I hope that answered your question, and I hope that that makes you feel like you're not so alone, because I know a lot of people feel like when they're a Christian, they can't say those things. They can't admit when they do things wrong, because you know how good the Lord is. How could you not lean on him? And it's like, you're human. It happens, and he always is there to forgive you and love you back. So hopefully that answers that question. So today I've gotten a lot of questions, and I know after this video I'll get the same question. I am wearing the Morphe No. 2 Pink Me Up lipstick. I love it. It's a cheek and lip, but I love it. I use it mainly as lipstick, but it is honestly one of my favorites. I feel like we jumped into this video with a super deep question and a super deep answer. So let's kind of like have a little bit more fun with the rest of this video. So somebody asked me, did I ever feel tempted to not save myself for marriage? And the answer is absolutely yes. If anybody ever tells you that they did not feel the pull and want to do that, then I feel like they're lying, because when you're in love and you're attracted to somebody, of course you want to do that, and of course you want to show your love and do all those things and be intimate with that person. So yes, all the time I would have been like, whoop, hey Gabe, but we had boundaries, so we never really went past those boundaries. But absolutely yes, I did think about doing it with Gabe, because I was attracted to him. I loved him. I wanted to marry him. I am married to him, but like in that moment, like I wanted nothing more than to be married to him and do that with him. So yes, I had those things in my mind, and I feel like people say that they didn't, are just scared to admit that. I'm not scared to admit that. I wanted my man. I will always want my man, and that's the tea. Another question that I get absolutely a ton is, what do we do for jobs? We do this. We do social media. I started TikTok. I actually was on Instagram before TikTok, but I started TikTok I believe 2021, because I signed up for Scentsy the week after Gabe's sister got married. So it was like August the 8th. And so I started really getting deep into TikTok the beginning of 2021, and I have never looked back since. It has always been my dream to do that. I always wanted to be a YouTuber or an influencer. I don't really consider myself an influencer, because I don't really do a lot of things influencers do. I don't really do brand deals. I really don't do I have a like to know it, but I don't really like link a lot of things and push my links a lot, because I genuinely just love making content and posting my life for you guys. I hope that I still act the same that I did whenever I had less followers. Now I know people change and evolve, and I've changed a ton. I look completely different than I did when I first got married, because I literally looked like a child when I got married. I look back at my wedding stuff and I was like, oh my gosh, I looked like a baby. And now I feel like I look a little bit older, but I don't know. Yeah, we do social media full time. And then after Gabe had diagnosed with his tumor, he went on disability for about 8 or 9 months. And then after he went back to work, I kind of realized that for those 8 to 9 months, I was basically bringing in all the income, and I was doing it on my own. And I thought how much better and how much more we could do if he was with me. So he went back to work, I think for a month or two, or maybe 3 weeks or a month. I do not remember. I don't remember, it's all a blur. But he went back to work, and then one day I was just like, hey, do you want to stay home with me and do videos with me still? And he was like, I'd love to. And then that's the story, and here we are now. It's what we do for a living. And it may not be for everybody, but it works for me and Gabe. We love it so much. And I know that this may not be long-term. It could be long-term, it may not be, but I kind of am one of those people that is like living in the moment and doing what I can do now. So say this only lasts for 6 more months. I'm gonna enjoy the 6 months, and if I need to go get a job, I'll go get a job. It's not that hard. It's not that I don't want to work. It's just I love doing this. This is like my dream come true. And I always have an open heart to know that if it ends, it ends. If TikTok goes away, it goes away. And I will find me something else to do. I have no problem with that. I actually sometimes, that's another question that I got. We'll move on to that question, is if I miss having a 9 to 5. And some days I do, and some days I don't. So there's days that I miss the interaction. So I worked at a med spa, and I loved the people. I loved talking to them. I loved getting relationships with them. They still ask for me, like the older with people, they will always ask for me, and that just makes me feel happy. I miss that aspect of it, but I don't miss getting up every day, and I don't miss doing that. I love working for myself. I love working with my husband, and I love staying home with my doodles. So I'm like 50-50. Like I could go back, but I don't want to, because I like that I can do it at home, but then I don't mind going back to work. So it's one of those things, it's like I don't really care, either or. Okay, y'all, sorry for the quality change. My camera died, and I don't feel like waiting for it to charge, so I'm just gonna finish on my phone. But Last time I did a girly talk, I feel like I did more of like the girl talk things like periods, my first time, things like that. And a lot of y'all wanted to know what pads I use. So I have these. These are the ones that I buy. These are the Always Radiant with Active Flex Foam. I don't care if you guys don't like these, if these are for teenagers. I don't really know what these are for, but I love them. They have a watermelon smell, and I know that that's not like the cleanest, most best thing for me down there, but I don't care. I like it, okay? These are my favorite, and I use a size 2, and I love them. Okay, so my periods, I know y'all asked me this last time too. My periods are always on the dot. I ovulate on the dot, but I only bleed for like 3 days, and some periods are really heavy, and then some are super light. So it just depends. A size 2 works for heavy and super light. And so yeah, I don't use tampons. A lot of people thought I don't use tampons because it'd be like having intercourse before I was married, and I was like, what a stinking weirdo to think that. But then I thought some people just genuinely are curious, so they don't know. But I don't use tampons because they're uncomfortable. I don't like them. They hurt me, and I would just rather wear this, okay? And I don't care if this is like a baby diaper. I'll always wear them. The question that I get is like, does Gabe get grossed out by anything? Like when we first got married, did he get grossed out? Was he like in shock of what I looked like? Was I nervous to be what I looked like? And honestly, going up to the wedding, I literally thought he was gonna hate my body. I thought my body was horrible, but like in that moment I was like, girl, you're a baddie. Your body looks so good. I hasn't seen your body before. It's been 5 years. You've been waiting and anticipating. Like a lot of people thought that I'd been more scared because it's been like anticipating for 5 years. Like what if he thought my body looked a certain way and then it looks like this? Like a lot of people are always asking that, and I think that all of that was in my head, but then in that moment, it just fled. Like he's made me feel so special and loved and beautiful and all the things that it just like fled my mind. So no, I didn't get insecure. I mean, sometimes I do. There's days that I do, but like he always makes me feel beautiful and better about it. So no, but I do understand like you asking that question of like the anticipation of like 5 years of what he thinks it could look like and then what it actually looked like. But in that moment, I didn't care. I was like, if it's chunky or not cute or bumpy, like he don't care. I was like, it's okay. But I understand the question. I really don't have any more questions because y'all always ask the same ones every single time. I try to answer new questions and try to like keep you guys updated on things, but really right now in life, we're just chilling. We're so content. We bought our home, we have vehicles, we have our doodles. We are just content living our life, not really changing much up, and there's not really much to update you guys on because we're literally living our dream. And so yeah. Everybody wants a tattoo story time, so here's a tattoo. It's a G with a heart. A lot of haters on my page saying it looks like a little TT, but it's not. It's a G with a heart. But so the story is, we went out for my friend's 21st birthday, and everybody was like, hey, we're gonna go get tattoos after this. And I was like, let's go. And literally the whole table just like turned, and they looked at me and they were like, did you just say you're getting a tattoo? And I was like, why the heck not, okay? Me thinking that everybody was gonna forget, nobody was gonna remember that I said that at the very beginning of the night. Drew, did you forget something? Like, did you forget that you said you were gonna get a tattoo with us? And I was like, no, I didn't say that. And then long story short, I got in the car and I got a tattoo, and I freaked out because it stinking hurt. And I kept saying that I probably won't ever get another one, but I might get another one. I kind of want one right here now, or like right here, but I want one that symbolizes my dog. So I might get 3 little flowers or 3 little dog paws, or each flower of their birth month. So August, May, and January, I think, is their birth months. Then I'll get their little flower right here. Also, I'm peeling from the sun, but yeah, I got a stinking tattoo, so I'm stinking cool now. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you all so, so much. Thank you guys so much for being here and letting us live out our dream. You guys have no idea how much your support and love means to us. It genuinely makes me so happy, and I love y'all all so, so much. It definitely outweighs the bad, and I cannot do this without you guys. So I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you guys later. Bye, friends.